If you are planning to leave an abusive relationship or have left one, then safety planning is essential. It can literally save your life. So today's safety planning video is about your home, your house, your property safety. Every entrance and exit point should be secured. That's your doors, your windows, with locks, with deadbolts, with chains, with dowel in the window sill. It is shutters on the outside if you can afford them. Not everything you'll be able to afford, but try and do the best you can, because home is often a dangerous place when you are trying to leave, planning to leave, or have left already, particularly for partners, abusers that are violent and have lost their control and are angry. So every entry and exit point, including manholes too. So the space in your roof, is your manhole secure? Is there a space under the house? How do you secure that more? Your fences, your gates, your yards, are there lights and sensor lights to the front door, the back door, and to illuminate the yard? Security cameras do cost money. Yes, there are some programs and there is some financial assistance available to help you buy security cameras. Otherwise, if you're not in a place that offers that financial assistance, I'm in New South Wales, Australia. If you do not have the money or you're not eligible, then I would even recommend doing an Afterpay or a Zip Pay, or just something a bit more affordable, because security cameras and the footage they give of incidences, if something were to occur, will be worth its weight in gold if you need it at some point to report to police. Electricity box. Now, you can get padlocks I was able to get a padlock from the electricity company that they could open to read the meter. I think some of them are digital now and it's a little bit different, but there have been instances of the power going off. You obviously exit your house to check the fuse box or check what's going on, and you become out in the open for attack. It's scary to think of, but we need to think about these things. Making sure that your neighbors are aware. Now, I know that this can be really quite embarrassing, but if your neighbors don't need to know details, but if there is an exclusion order in place where the perpetrator cannot come to your home, just letting them know that if they do, call the police straight away. It also helps to have a witness with the account too. It can cancel out a lot of that he said, she said, if it's a neighbor ringing the police. For some reason, victims aren't believed wholeheartedly, but put a witness in there, it makes it a lot harder to challenge the narrative there. Can you get a dog? I know that's not always possible. I know it's not always practical. These are just ideas. Alarm system if you can. Again, in New South Wales and most other states in Australia, you can get some sort of victims compensation, victims assist payment to help out with security cameras, changing locks. That's another one I forgot to. If they have a key, or you even think they might have a key, just change the locks. That's really scary to think that somebody can just enter your home, not break in, but just walk straight into your home while you're in there asleep and vulnerable. What else have I got? Even if there's any sheds, if you have any sheds or other buildings on your property, making sure they're secure as well. Letting your friends know, family know. If you could create code words if you need the police called or if you need them to come over and support. What else? I think that's probably everything. I was really lucky that I had the staying home leaving violence program come into my home and actually do an assessment of the home. So if you have something like that available in your area, absolutely get somebody else in to do an audit, a safety audit, and tell you, they'll have a different lens as to where some unsafe points may be and how you can secure them a little bit more. I'll just touch on briefly online security. So this is just ever changing. It is extremely frightening. The hidden apps, the air trackers, the different devices and ideas that they're coming up with to monitor and check your whereabouts all the time, stalk, harass, monitor. I would even go so far as to suggest getting another phone. I know that that's not always practical. I get it. Do a factory reset. Save your photos, save your, important stuff. Do a factory reset of your phone or get a new phone. And that's also because I would get another number as well. You can leave your original phone number for their contact, if they're allowed to, or if they're not, then that's evidence. And for dealing with whatever's going on in that current, the police, the court stuff. But for everything else in your life that is safe to have a different number, I would start changing my number, because there is nothing more triggering when a private number rings that phone that the perpetrator has your number for. Private numbers, repeated calls, even when they are ringing and messaging, you can control it a lot more when you don't have to have that phone, the original phone, in your hands, on your person, to be able to answer it, for kids' schools, for daycare, for work, for things like that. Start changing your number. Same thing again with the email address. Create a new email address. Start changing things over so that you can slowly phase out their contact with you. Again, if they are not allowed to contact you, or if they threaten you throughout that contact, you have it in writing, in email, to be able to, provide your proof and your evidence. Creating a new email address also leaves that email so that if you've got to communicate because of children, because of custody, that you can control when you look at that email or when you look at that phone to check messages. I found it really, really triggering and really stressful that emails and phone calls and messages could come through at any time, and then that would trigger my body into a fight, flight, freeze response. Particularly if you've got court proceedings, you can control, okay, I'm going to turn off all those notifications for that email. I'm only going to look at my email or the app or whatever you're using to communicate. At this time, when I get myself into a bit of a relaxed state, I'm preparing myself to read or listen to those messages, the correspondence, when I'm ready, not immediately as they come through. Not when they come through at night to ruin your night, not when they come through in the morning, which will ruin your day, but when you set the standards, you set the time frames, you prepare to engage with that correspondence. So that's always my recommendation if it is practical. And making sure that online, any email accounts, bank accounts, any social media accounts, real estate accounts, if you're looking for other rentals, that you change all the passwords, including the security questions and answers, or you set up that new email so that you can start using that with real estates, and they don't even know your email address to even try and hack into any account, social media things that you've still got that they might use to monitor you. So that's just really quickly some safety and planning tips from me. Safety planning can and does save your life. And you can never be too careful when you have experienced something that is very traumatic, very frightening, that you can never be too careful with your own safety. That's your life. That's your well-being. So prioritize it. You are significant because you are, and I love you because you exist. And please stay safe.